I think the debate on the quality of pitches is again overhyped like intolerance. Of course, yes, that's going to be a conflict of interest because you run academy. If you are in a position to select any of the players, you may have advantage. Your academy players may have advantage. So when you play them in a multinational tournament in the world events, then what stops you to play them again in a bilateral series? So that question we have to answer. Because I thought at that time, if I'll play for country, nobody should say that his father is politician. That is why he's played for country.
One is that, could you comment on this whole controversy over the quality of the pitches? And where is the BCCI in favor of sporting pitches or the kind that we are producing? And secondly, this experiment with day-night tests. So it seems to be fairly successful in its first instance. Is the BCCI looking sort of begin and take a step on that?
I think the debate on the quality of pitches is again overhyped like intolerance. When a match gets over in Tentbridge in 2 days, or in other part of this world, maybe in Australia in 3 days, nobody raises that question. But when we see a lot of draw matches in the past few years, we say nobody will come and watch Test cricket because of the drawn matches.
But you have a lot of Indian form of players.
But look at the Nagpur Test match. I have a question to ask anyone. You ask any former cricketer how many players from both the teams played a bad shot to throw the wicket. Was there uneven bounce? No. Was there more turn than expected level? Yes, there may be. But then many parts of the world, in Australia and in South Africa, you will see more bounce in the pitches. But in England, you will see more seam and swing. So how do you compare that? In India and Pakistan, you may see more turning tracks. In Bangladesh, you may see more slower tracks and more turning tracks. So these are the nature of pitches which we call the home advantage. Or maybe the home advantage which the conditions we play in. We have played in these conditions only. But if you play on a green track, in Nagpur about few years back when we lost to South Africa only, then you say why you have a green wicket in South Africa, why you have a green wicket in Mohali.
But Mr. Thakur, 3-day test match is like serving no purpose in the sense of the ball starting. You've been a cricketer. Like when have you last saw the ball starting from day one, from the first ball the ball is turning? And I think we also saw the series. There has been inconsistent bounce. The balls have been flying. The balls have been really keeping low. And the biggest point is the ICC have themselves said it's a poor track. So. And other worrying part of the thing is your coach Ravi Shastri, like he's on court to say to hell with 5 days of cricket, like we are fine with 3. Like do you think this attitude really works? Like if you can have a bad wicket once, like every series has got a bad wicket and there is but if you say that this is our template to play at home, do you think this is a worrying sign? Like we will go and play abroad?
Not really. Nobody questioned during the T20 and the ODI games about the pitches when South Africa won. But when India won 2 test matches, then certainly you started raising questions on that.
No, the ICC is raising, not just us.
Maybe ICC, but what is the criteria of a good pitch and a bad pitch?
That's like.
So you have to understand that whether there was uneven bounce, were there injuries?
If a spinner is bowling, I don't think there will be injuries. Yeah, because we don't have the fast bowler. Even it can be a bad track, even it can be a poor track. If a spinner is bowling, I don't think anybody will get injured. But it's a poor track.
No, there could be. Kumble used to bowl and the wicket keeper used to get it on the helmets at times, so we have seen that stage also, Sandeep. So I think it is, we'll respond to what ICC has sent us a letter. We'll soon reply to them on that in detail. But as far as I see, there's nothing wrong whether a test match finishes in a 4th day or a 3rd day. Yes, you're getting results, but I think you should also look at the betting standards as well. Are we so used to the way Dravid, Lakshman and others used to play in these kind of tracks only For example, in Kolkata, when Bhaji took so many wickets against Australia, it was Lakshman and other players who batted well on that track. They scored 200 runs, but the full Australian team couldn't score 200 runs. So you can't say that was a bad pitch.
So you're saying a bowl, even our
I think
batsmen
T20 has also changed our style of playing in test matches. All over the world, you will see more and more test matches are getting results. It may be of good interest, but I'd look at the stadias. Most of the stadias were empty. So that's another worry. So that is why BCCI has taken a decision to go to the tier 2 towns. So Dharamsala, Vizag, Saurashtra, these centers will be hosting the test matches from the next year onwards.
I'll talk to you about this other thing we spoke about, conflict of interest, which is just slightly complicated in the sense because there are too many cross connections with the players, because these players, once they retire, they have academies, and BCCI also needs to utilize their experience in administration. Now, if the new reform says that in case if you have a commercial interest, you can't be a BCCI administrator, don't you think it's slightly difficult to implement this thing?
Not really, I think. We have tried to be very transparent and at the same time to come out with not only a piece of paper, but I think it raises a question. One has become more conscious about what they are doing and what they are not doing. Whether it is the financial gain or by being in that position, by virtue of being in that position, any of your decisions should not affect or which will help you financially or otherwise. So I think things are very, very clear. The people also understand. They are asking for the clarifications now. Whether if they run an academy and be present in one of the state as a selector, of course, yes, that's going to be a conflict of interest because you run an academy. If you are in a position to select any of the players, you may have advantage. Your academy players may have advantage. So I think these things have, made the things very, very clear and transparent to them.
So I'll ask you a specific example, like Anil Kumble, he's just quit Mumbai Indians. Now, can he be part of any BCCI committees or?
Of course, yes.
But he also runs a player management company, like it will be a direct conflict of interest if he's part of any of those things.
Once he take up that job, suppose he takes any role with the BCCI, if his any financial agreement with any other company or his own company has any conflict with his job with the BCCI or position with the BCCI, I think he has to take a call whether he has to remain in that organization or he has to be with BCCI. I think that's very, very clear.
So who decides this? Will there be an ethics officer or will it people within the
We have appointed Ombudsman, retired Justice A.P. Shah. Any such matters will be directly sent to Mr. Justice A.P. Shah.
So he'll take a call on
He'll take a call on that. He'll take a call on that. Especially we can take a call on Anil Kumble. But suppose if I have any conflict of interest, I should not, or Mr. Manoj should not be deciding that. So any office bearer or member of the board, if he has any conflict, that will be sent to the Justice A.P. Shah.
Are you happy with the fact that Justice Mudgal is actually an outside interference from the working of the BCCI? And do you think it could be a trend and it could be a worrying thing for an autonomous body like the BCCI?
I think autonomous bodies, when we say autonomous status, there shouldn't be any role of any government or any other outsider. So which is not a welcome step. But at the same time, I think if there is a court order, so we all have to follow the court orders.
So as a BJP MP, what is your take on, should we be playing Pakistan or shouldn't be? I think there you need to be clear about what exactly you personally feel as a BJP politician.
I mean, if you look at from the diplomatic point of view, on one hand, you are improving your relations with other countries. Your visit to Bhutan, Nepal, then foreign minister visit to Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. I think you have to take a call whether there should not be any talks and let the other country go to UN or other board go to ICC for the final decision, or you want to engage with them. So I think diplomatically we have to decide what call we have to take. If you engage, then you can raise the issue of terrorism also. You can raise the issue of cricket also. You can raise the issue of trade as well. But if you don't engage, you give that opportunity to someone else. You give your right to someone else. I think that call we have to take.
This is not the first time that India cricket board has proposed cricket series with Pakistan. But in the past also the MEA put its foot down and clear it. I want to understand if you guys talk to MEA before deciding, declaring. There is a lack of communication, or there is a lack of coordination before you announce such a series?
I think when it comes to Pakistan, it's not that easy to take calls. And 5 years back, there was no role of social media. Today you get to see a lot of reaction from social media, but you can't say that's the sense of the entire country. So at times you can't go by only by social media, you have to look at the interest of the nation, diplomatic relations. I think that is also very important for any country. Whether you want to remain at loggerheads or you actually want to, sit across the table and discuss things. We have been discussing Pakistan, cricket, trade, terrorism, as well as the issue of Kashmir and Pak-occupied Kashmir.
From what you've just said, the impression one gets is that your personal view is that India should play Pakistan. Is that right?
As I said earlier, we play Pakistan in the World Cup events. We played them in 2015 World Cup. We'll play them next year in 2016 in the Asia Cup. Then we'll again play them in the month of March in the World Cup. So when you play them in a multinational tournament in the world events, then what stops you to play them again in a bilateral series? So that question we have to answer.
Our decision or the government decision to play Pakistan, does it depend on TV debates and Twitter reactions? Because there has been outrage saying that we shouldn't be playing.
I think you must consider what is the sentiment. But eventually or finally you have to take a call in the interest of the nation.
But you get too influenced by this. Do you think that in case for the World T20, can you organize a Pakistan match in Mumbai?
No, we can't.
So they are
Because nobody wants to get into a situation which could cause embarrassment to the country. Where we have so many centers in this country who can host the Pakistan match, you can't force anyone to host a Pakistan game. Why should we do that?
So in a way you are getting dictated by Shivsena. It's working what they want.
Not really. One way is to getting into war or into such situation. Another smart way is to do it in another way.
Don't you think, as a young leader and somebody who's very active, that don't you think the fact that the CM did not come to Noida and instead got the family to see him in Lucknow, don't you think that got overshadowed by what your people were saying outside?
That do affect, but we have to look at the overall issue. किसी ने कहा उसका कितना नुकसान हुआ, लेकिन दूसरा कितना और सुनने के लिए तैयार है सच्चाई को. किसी ने ये कहा कि डॉक्टर महेश शर्मा किसी के उसके बच्चे को लाके अस्पताल में बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट डॉक्टर्स को लाके इलाज कराओ तो कहीं रिपोर्ट नहीं होता है. जनगण, मान लीजिए आपका नेशनल एंथम बज रहा है किसी स्टूडियो, क्या मीडिया को ये लिखना जरूरी है कि मुस्लिम फैमिली को बाहर किया गया? ये नहीं कहा गया कि एक परिवार के खिलाफ वहां पर आक्रोश हुआ जब नेशनल एंथम पर वो खड़े नहीं हुए. तो मुस्लिम साथ में क्यों आता है? माइनॉरिटी स्टेटस साथ में क्यों आता है? वो भी एक नागरिक है. वाई डू वी एवरीवेयर से कि माइनॉरिटी है तो इसलिए हो रहा है? जब मेजॉरिटी की बात होती है तो वो इंटॉलरेंस हो जाती है. ये दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण बात नहीं है कि इस देश में हिंदू मुस्लिम करके क्यों देखा जाता है? ये वही देश है जहां पर जैनिज्म, बुद्धिज्म, सिखिज्म ने धर्म जन्म लिया है. कि कोई और एक देश का उदाहरण दो जहां पर इतने धर्मों ने जन्म लिया हो. So I think if some people say it is fabricated and manufactured intolerance, I'll agree with them on
पर
that.
आपके मिनिस्टर बोलते हैं कि अब्दुल कलाम Kalam was a patriot despite being despite being a Muslim. He was a nationalist despite being a Muslim. तो फिर minority की बात तो आपके ministers भी कर रहे हैं ना? And he's a minister. He's a union minister.
अगर हर चीज को करके कोई खिलाड़ी मैच फिक्सिंग में पकड़ा जाता है, वो उस समय उसको याद नहीं रखता भारत के करोड़ों लोगों ने जब तक उसको पसंद किया और देश के सर्वोच्च स्थान पर पहुंचाया, लेकिन फिक्सिंग के बाद माइनॉरिटी स्टेटस याद आता है. कोई फिल्म स्टार, देश के करोड़ों लोग उसकी पिक्चर को देख के उसको अप्रिशिएट करते हैं, तब तक उसको अपना माइनॉरिटी स्टेटस याद नहीं आता जब तक इन्फोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट उसको गलत तरीके से पैसा लाने पर सवाल खड़ा करती, तब उसको माइनॉरिटी स्टेटस याद आता
नहीं,
है.
आप अपने मिनिस्टर की बताइए.
मैं उस पर भी आता हूं. सत्यमेव जयते पे देश के हर सवाल को खड़ा किया जाता है. किसी ने यह नहीं कहा कि कौन व्यक्ति इसको उठा रहा है, लेकिन उस देश छोड़ने की उस समय बात करता है जब पूरा देश उसके कहने पर कई विषयों को विषय उठाता है. तो माइनॉरिटी स्टेटस साथ में क्यों जोड़ते? एक नागरिक को बराबरी के अधिकार पर देखना चाहिए, चाहे वो हिंदू हो, सिख हो, मुस्लिम हो. किसी को जाति के आधार पर, धर्म के आधार पर नहीं देखना चाहिए. अगर कोई मंत्री, कोई सांसद, किसी पार्टी का कोई कार्यकर्ता उसको एक रूप देने का प्रयास करता है, तो मुझे लगता है हर किसी को इस बात से परहेज करना चाहिए, चाहे वो नेता है या कोई पत्रकार है.
Very soon Rahul Gandhi will be expected to become president of Congress, and BJP is also raising voice, and the major charge against him is of being a member of a dynastic family. And you are young, you are active, I know your background, but you are also a member of that famous dynastic crowd of Indian politics. Do you feel it's a little bit an embarrassment about it?
Not at all. I feel proud of my father, who spent more than 30 years in public life, and I know that what we have to pay for that.
That's what Rahul Gandhi can also say.
No, but at the same time, when I used to play cricket for Punjab, my father name is Prem Kumar Dhumal. When I was captain of the Punjab under 16, under 19, North Zone under 19 teams which won All India Championships and played for the Punjab Ranji Trophy and the Guru Nanak Dev University which also won the national championship, I took a decision in my 9th standard to write my name Anurag Thakur. I don't even use the same surname. Many girls use their father's surname even despite getting married. Because I thought at that time, if I'll play for country, nobody should say that his father is politician. That is why he's played for country. Yes, my father has a lot of contribution in the state as well in the politics. There is an advantage and a disadvantage of coming from a dynasty as well, because the expectation levels are much, much higher. But then you have ultimately have to deliver. I have won 14th Lok Sabha, 15th Lok Sabha, now the 16th Lok Sabha. When the Chief Minister of the state said कि बाकी सब 3 सीटें भूल जाओ, मुझे सिर्फ हमीरपुर लोक सभा चाहिए. He and his son said during the election in my Lok Sabha only, but I won by close to 1 lakh votes. So I think ultimately it is the voter who decides your future, who decides your fate.